Well, welcome everybody to our local foodie talk. As you all know, we've always done in downtown Fort Collins a foodie walk every month, the third Friday. Now that we're not really able to give out samples and have people walking, we're doing some foodie talks. So this is one featuring Kilwins, our favorite chocolate ice cream and sweets place. And today, they're going to talk and demonstrate some things from their shop. But first, let me just tell you one quick thing about the cooking studio. We're in downtown Fort Collins. We're inside the Opera Galleria, and we are open for classes. We're doing classes on Thursday, Friday, Saturdays, and we're doing virtual classes. We have a couple of virtual kids clubs where the kids stay in their own kitchen and they cook family dinner. So they cook dinner for their whole family, and then their family comes in and sits down. It's real popular. Mostly this winter, kids are making all kinds of great things for their families. So that's some of the stuff we're doing, and two other things that fit with chocolate. One is we're selling some chocolate making kits on our website. You can, the link will be on there, and you can look at the website. If you want it pick up and delivered to your door, the Northern Colorado Virtual Market Farmers Market is delivering for us, or we can ship it any place there is. But we have these, we have some heart shapes candy maker kits, and we also have a CBD making kit. So if you want to make some marijuana leaf chocolate molds, you can buy that from us. We actually have a formula for how to decide your dose per chocolate, so you're not going to surprise anybody with way too much CBD oil. So that's all about us. I'm Trish O'Neill. If I didn't say that before, I own the cooking studio. And now over to, we're going to do Nora and Kevin. They're at Kilwins. Kilwins has been a Main Street icon since 1996. And if you live here, you've been there. We all love them. My favorite ice cream they have is the mint chocolate chip, but they also have chocolates. Once you make your own chocolates with the chocolate making kit, you're going to appreciate why you want to go there and buy theirs, because it's a lot of trouble. They have ice cream, they have fudge, and they have lots of really interesting sweet treats. So it's just a great place, and we love them so much. And so Nora and Kevin are going to do some different things that you can do with chocolate, and I'm turning it over to you guys.
Thanks, Trish. Hi, I'm Nora Hill. I own Kilwins, and I am here with Kevin Jones, who is our head cook here. Today, we're going to go through chocolate work and show you a few different things that you can do with chocolate. So I'm going to flip the camera around and show you what we've got. So we have at Kilwins, sorry about that. At Kilwins, we have 4 different kinds of chocolate. We have white chocolate, which is real, by the way. It just doesn't have the dark parts of the cocoa bean in it, but it is real chocolate. We also have milk chocolate. Look down here. We've got semi-sweet chocolate, which is what's usually in this chocolate tempering machine. This is our chocolate tempering machine. It usually has semi-sweet chocolate in it, otherwise known as dark chocolate, which is really common. But today we've got bittersweet chocolate in it, which is our 72% cacao chocolate product. So first, Kevin is going to make almond bark.
And another fun thing about our 72% bittersweet chocolate is it is our only dairy-free chocolate as well.
Ah, yes. I'm going to move over here. Lighting's way better.
I'm going to weigh out some of this 72% bittersweet chocolate before I add almonds to it and use an offset spatula to spread it out even.
And that, Kevin, that chocolate's been tempered already, right?
Correct. Yes, Trish, this has been tempered already. It takes about a half hour for us to temper our chocolate here at Kilwins. The bittersweet chocolate actually sets up the quickest out of all these chocolates too.
Each of the chocolates has a different set of behaviors. Very interesting. You never know exactly what they're going to do until you work with them. And oh, Kevin's already adding the almonds. So he got the chocolate in there the right way to chocolate, and now he's stirring in the almonds. Okay.
I've already got my dimensions here on the folds of this parchment paper of exactly how big I'd like to make this part.
So that it's the same thickness every time. It's our goal on that one. We like consistency.
And that parchment paper is so useful when you're working with chocolate.
It very much is.
Like you'll even notice in the cookie picture behind me that it's parchment paper that the cookies are on. We put parchment paper in all our kits too, because parchment paper is genius.
Yeah, after messing with tempered chocolate, putting it on the parchment paper and letting it set up in front of the fan, it's really friendly with coming right off not sticking to the paper at all. Nice. Anytime you're using an offset spatula to make anything with chocolate, if you're trying to lead chocolate in a particular direction, it's really helpful, for instance, to get the corners to use the tip of your offset spatula and kind of direct it to that corner and then fill in the spaces after you've directed the chocolate to the corner you need it.
So we, of course, have all kinds of, fun tools, right? Including offset spatulas in two sizes, the big ones and the small ones. And we use them all the time. And you could use a rubber scraper to do exactly what Kevin's doing right now and to spread it out, or a kitchen knife. Kitchen knife might be a little awkward, actually, but I think I'd probably pick a rubber scraper just because the kitchen knife's so flat.
Yeah, you'd get chocolate on your fingers and then you'd have to lick your fingers, right?
You have to lick it off, exactly. And that'd be so sad.
Once you
Oh, it looks delicious.
a nice even spread, the last step is to add a little flair to it. It's a bark, so you kind of want to just make it look maybe like a tree bark. You could do whatever you'd like when you're doing this at home to make it look like something, and just a little bit less plain by adding a little flair like this. You could also pipe things. We'll be showing piping chocolate as well, but not on this part.
See, it was super flat. Now Kevin's dragging his fingers around and making it look like bark.
It has to be a little bit cool when you do that, right? Or it'll just go
Yeah,
back.
and like I said, this chocolate sets up really quick. It's already setting up as we speak. But yeah, you wouldn't want to do this with right away with white chocolate, because then the creases wouldn't stick.
Yeah, white chocolate sets up the most slowly.
Speaking
But
of
bittersweet
white
is super fast, which is one. We'll come back to that in a minute. Now we're moving over to
the white chocolate. We make our own peanut butter cups here at Kilwins. We have these molds here. The first step would be to get the inner shell aligned with all white chocolate and let that set up in front of the fan.
And all we do to do that is we dump it. Whoops. Let me back up. All we do on that one is we dump the chocolate in here, then switch it around and make sure it's really set in there and dump it out. And so you got a nice shell and scrape it off flat on the top.
Exactly. And then we use a mixture of our peanut chocolate chips as well as peanut butter, our own Kilwins peanut butter, melted in the microwave to come up with a creamier inside consistency for our peanut butter cup.
I'll show you what that peanut butter looks like, just for fun. All right, so it's all peanuts and a little salt and a little bit of vegetable oil in there just to keep it emulsified so we don't have to stir it all the time, that it doesn't have sugar and all the other garbage that
So we get
peanut butter has. It's really good.
It's really good. We get regulars coming just for our peanut butter cups because it's more creamy consistency. And if you are a bigger fan of Reese's peanut butter cups, we suggest you try our homemade Buckeyes, which does include powdered sugar and has more of a Reese's peanut butter cup taste. This is a lot more creamy. So the last phase is to top off the shells and of white chocolate with the peanut butter in it. I'm going to use a big blue scooper. And I'm just eyeballing out, kind of overfilling a little bit before I use a bench scraper to wipe off the excess chocolate. Once you have all of them filled, you want to tap it down, get a nice even layer of chocolate before we wipe it back out into the Hilliard.
Fantastic. I love
And then
that.
last step, you throw it in front of the fan.
The Hilliard is what the brand name is of our chocolate tempering machines. And so, you know, it's just like anything. You have your little names for things, and so we call it Hilliard.
Right.
Chocolate temperer, way too many syllables. All right, so I think, what's the last thing we're gonna
And
do?
the
here?
last thing is, we're gonna show you, again with parchment paper, but it's actually a parchment triangle, is how to make a piping bag.
This is so helpful to people because if you buy piping bags, you have to buy like 25 or 60 or buy one that you have to wash all the time.
Yep, there are reusable. We use the parchment triangles because we're going through them like hotcakes. But basically, we put our triangle upright like a hat, and we're going to fold in the corners so that all three corners align, and you have this cone figure. You want to make sure you pinch the three parchment triangle corners together, so that way you don't get a big hole at the bottom that will drip chocolate out. When you're at home, you could also just use a Ziploc and pour whatever you'd like into a Ziploc and cut the corner of a Ziploc and do the same motion we're doing here.
Yeah, that's a really easy way to get a piping bag is the plastic bag.
Right.
We, of course, make a ton of these. So here's what it looks like once it's all done. You can see the tip down there on the bottom is all closed up. And it's not a big hole. You don't want a big hole.
And it's
There- it's
so
hard
much
to make
easier
piping
for
bags.
cleanup too. You just throw that away.
Yeah.
Exactly.
After, of course, you squeeze everything out of it, because my gosh, we do not throw away chocolate now, do we? Yum.
So once you have the piping bag made, you're going to want to fill it with whatever chocolate you desire. We do sell our Kilwins bulk chocolate. If you ever wanted to come to our store and pick up your favorite chocolate to try making these stuff at home, we strongly encourage it.
Yeah, that's a great idea. You should buy your mold kit, your candy kit from us, and then buy your chocolate from Kilwins.
Exactly. You
They'll
got your
give
milk
you
and
all
your
all the
chocolate,
tips.
and you can do it all at home yourself. And once I've filled the piping bag with the right amount of chocolate I want, I'm going to cut the tip with, so that way I have a little bit of a bigger hole to pipe the chocolate. And then here at Kilwins, we do a lot of different things with the piping bag. One of them including our own striped caramel apples. And when you're at home, you could make whatever figures you'd like. We usually have themed caramel apples, depending on what type of year it is. Or we'll try and just do our own simple design like figure eights. But that's the fun part about a piping bag, is you add your own flair.
It takes a little
you wanna-
practice to get that good at it though, Kevin. Like you have to practice.
Oh, yes, it does.
The nice thing about that is you can practice and then scoop it back in and warm it up and go again.
Yeah, yeah.
And it only takes about 10 minutes in front of the fan for thin lines of chocolate for this to set up. And then you're ready to go and you could eat it and share it with friends and or add other layers of piping chocolate. We also have a triple striped chocolate apple where we would stripe in milk, dark, and white chocolate.
Now you're just showing off.
We do have another apple, our pecan caramel apple that we drizzle milk chocolate on. We call this our turtle apple. This is one of our most popular caramel apples that we sell all year round.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite. Man, that's delicious.
And then any excess chocolate, like Nora mentioned, no chocolate goes to waste. We'll throw as much as we can squeeze out back into the Hilliard before we get rid of the piping bag.
You could squirt it in your mouth if you wanted to.
If the health code
Yeah,
said we could, I would.
absolutely. That is the nice thing about chocolate work at home. You can do whatever you want.
That's it.
I think we should need to cut this guy up, don't we?
Yep. And then, the
Okay.
last step, when you make parts, is you don't want it to start bowing too quickly. You want to cut it while it's still somewhat setting up. Otherwise, it will crack, and you won't get the exact cut that you're looking for.
So right now it's definitely solid, but it's not hard. As you can see, it's bendy and stuff.
And this tool is called the caramel cutter, but we rarely use it for caramel. We like to use it for our chocolate.
But you can use a knife, you can use whatever you want to, just to cut up your stuff. And all right, so then that's done and that is ready to get sold. So one of the things you can do is that chocolate's really good at is it's so, flexible in literally, and you could put it in all kinds of different ways. Like one of the things we do is we'll add stripes. Oh, here's some completed bittersweet almond bark that's set up and hard. And here are completed white chocolate peanut butter cups. But we use stripes a lot just to make things look more interesting. And for example, we'll dip a pretzel in chocolate, but then this one over here on the left is kind of boring when it's just straight chocolate. So we add some striped chocolate. We also put sprinkles on it for people who like the little color bits. And so we'll stripe chocolate on top of these. And then you could do, say, milk chocolate on milk chocolate like this one is, if you want to. Or you can mix up your colors depending on what kind of chocolate you've got at home. We take a chocolate dip Twinkie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. First, we take the Twinkie and we dip it in milk chocolate, which you can see down in that sea of chocolate is what's at the bottom. Let that set up, then stripe it with dark chocolate. And then finally, on top of everything, we'll put white chocolate on it. And doesn't that look like fun? I mean, if that were
So fun.
Yeah, if that were just a straight thing of chocolate dipped on a Twinkie, and it looked kind of like a really big hot dog, which isn't really what we want to convey. So the stripes add a lot more interest to it.
That's why you guys are the best.
That's why we try to make stuff look good. What we completed today is our bittersweet chocolate almond bark with 72% cacao in it, also dairy-free, no butterfat. Our regular semi-sweet has a little bit of butterfat in it. It has no other dairy, but it does have a little butterfat in it. Then we've got milk chocolate on our apples. And finally, we've got white chocolate peanut butter cups setting up in front of our fan, which we like.
Delicious. So you should probably share your hours so people know when they can come and get some of these delicious things.
Kilwins is open every day from noon to 8. Those are our pandemic hours currently. Check out, Facebook is always up to date. Google is always up to date with our hours when we change them. And we keep the TVA website updated and various other platforms.
And we're also available on noconosh.com for delivery.
Yes, we are. We are.
Fantastic. Oh, and also you might want to say something about your delicious ice creams because I love your ice cream.
We have 32 different flavors, all very popular. My personal favorite is the cookies and cream. Our top seller is the toasted coconut. Since the pandemic, our quarts of ice cream have been skyrocketing. We now prepackage half of our flavors in quarts, so you could just come and quickly pick up a quart. And our top 5 flavors probably consist of sea salt caramel, cookies and cream, toasted coconut, cappuccino chocolate chip, and mint chocolate chip.
Mint chocolate chip is my favorite. Mint chocolate chip.
Could be New Orleans Creamy Pecan. That one's up really high. I can't remember.
Sometimes it seems like the top flavors fluctuate. Too.
Yeah.
So.
My favorite, sometimes, it's like picking a favorite child, right? It's not fair. But I mean, you don't, whatever. It's like picking a favorite child. My favorite, most of the time, is Mackinac Island Fudge, which is a chocolate fudge swirl in vanilla ice cream. And I don't know, I just really like the flavor balance and think it tastes really good.
Well, there's never a warm day in Fort Collins where people aren't walking around eating your ice cream. I can tell you that, or the apples.
Every day of the year, every day of the year.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Okay, well, I think that we're wrapped up now, and thanks everybody for coming, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, Trish.